Beast Boy was first introduced as a member of the Doom Patrol in the 99th issue of Doom Patrol. Since his introduction, the crowd has loved him and his personality, making him soar through the ranks of favorite young superheroes amongst the fans in the whole DC universe. But there are a lot of things about this young superhero we do not know about. Can he sleep as an animal? Can he turn into a human, as humans too are animals? Why is he vegetarian? Does he have kids? We will answer all the questions in this video, so strap in and enjoy. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. Who is Beast Boy? What disease does he have? Before we talk about his powers, we have to know who he is. So let's learn about Beast Boy's backstory. Garfield Logan is the son of Mark and Marie Logan. The Logans were scientists who set up a small research camp in Lumumba, Africa. There, along with their colleague Samuel Register, they were conducting research on reverse evolution. While the research was progressing well, young Garfield was often neglected by his parents due to their workaholic nature. However, this changed when Garfield contracted the Sakutia virus. The Sakutia virus is a highly lethal virus found in that specific region of Africa. It affects the host by altering and rewriting their DNA code. When the host is under the virus's influence, they revert to a primitive state, which enables them to shapeshift into various animals. The first 48 hours after infection are extremely critical, as most people who contract this disease do not survive beyond this point. When Garfield was affected by such a deadly virus, his parents used every bit of their knowledge to save him. Using a serum that they had made, his parents were able to save him. The serum that they gave him affected all the mutated genes in his body. This neutralized the lethality of the virus, leaving Garfield with the perks of the virus. The virus turned his skin and hair green and left him with the ability to change himself into any terrestrial animal. With that, Garfield started his journey as the Changeling, but he later changed his name to the alias we know him by, aka Beast Boy. Why does Beast Boy look green? One of the most distinctive traits of Beast Boy is his green hair and skin color, and fans have long speculated about the origin of this unusual hue. Initially, fans theorized that his green color was a result of the Sakutia virus. As previously mentioned, the Sakutia virus is a disease that affects the host's DNA, and when Garfield's parents used their serum to counteract the virus's lethality, the side effect of turning him green became permanent. However, this theory didn't fully explain everything, and the DC Universe introduced the concept of the morphogenic field to provide a more comprehensive explanation for Beast Boy's powers and appearance. The morphogenic field is a source of data about Earth's animal and plant life, which serves to explain the abilities of heroes like Beast Boy and Vixen. As the morphogenic field expanded and divided into the red, connecting every animal life, and the green, connecting every plant life, the green color of Beast Boy became less logical. Transforming into an animal would seemingly align better with the color red. Indeed, in the New 52, Beast Boy was portrayed as entirely red to reflect this concept. However, the change was later reverted to green due to fan familiarity and preference, rendering the morphogenic field explanation somewhat moot. Ultimately, the most plausible and consistent explanation for Beast Boy's green color remains the Sakutia virus theory. Can he transform into any type of animals? Does he get all the abilities of the animals? As we know, Beast Boy can transform into any animal he can imagine, and his abilities are incredibly versatile. If he has seen an animal, he can undoubtedly take its form, whether it's a reptile like a snake or an annelid like a worm. If he can envision the animal in his mind, he can become it. We've witnessed Beast Boy even assume the forms of extinct animals, such as the Tyrannosaurus Rex. However, his transformative abilities don't stop at mimicking physiology. Thanks to the Sakutia virus he contracted, his genes can be rewritten in an instant at his discretion. Consequently, Beast Boy can easily transform himself into microscopic organisms if he desires. In one episode, he ventured into Cyborg and took the form of a microscopic organism to combat a virus he had contracted. Beast Boy can also assume the form of demonic animals, as we've seen when he transformed under the influence of Trigon. We also see him transform into a hybrid creature that possesses all the powers of the animals he has in this hybrid, but owing to the complexity of this animal, it's very difficult for him to control it, so this is not his first preference. In the Kingdom Come arc, Beast Boy is known as the Menagerie and can only transform into mythical creatures. While the exact reason for this limitation is unknown, it's reasonable to assume that he can transform into these creatures if he can visualize them. He even takes on the form of a dragon, which is quite impressive. Now, when he transforms into an animal, he gets all the perks of the animals too. If he turns into a bat, he gets the sonar of a bat too, and you can imagine how the rest goes. Another notable aspect of his transformations is that he can maintain them indefinitely and can even multiply if needed. We've seen him transform into a swarm of bees, so assuming the form of a swarm of yellow-jacket wasps would be a relatively simple task for him. Encountering such a swarm, personally, would be highly undesirable. Can he shapeshift into other human beings? One big question that you might be pondering upon is whether Beast Boy can transform himself into a human. After all, humans too are animals, and as Beast Boy can transform himself into any animal, transforming into another human would not be something that is out of the pocket for him. But here's the catch. As we know, whenever he transforms into an animal, he does hold on to his green hue. So if he were to transform into another human, his green hue would instantly give it away, which would make the whole transformation pretty pointless. He can't sleep in his animal form. If you own a pet, you know how adorable they look when they sleep, which is probably why every pet owner has 1,000 pictures of their pet sleeping. Sadly, when it comes to Gar, we cannot click pictures of him in his cat form taking a nap. You see, when it comes to our boy Gar, his brain has to actively keep working in order to maintain the animal form. So if he were to sleep, his brain would let go of this control and he would come back into his human form. We see it happen whenever he is knocked out in a fight. He changes back into his human form until he is back in his senses. So, no cute bleeping pictures of a sleeping green puppy, I'm afraid. Can he give his ability to others? To answer this question, we have to understand the source of his powers. We know that the Sakudia virus affected his genes, mutating them, and the serum his parents injected him with stabilized and affected only those mutated genes, giving him control over the powers or perks that the Sakudia virus gave him. So clearly, his powers are genetic in nature, and because of that, the only way he can share his ability with others is if he is giving people his genes. Now, obviously, that is not possible, but we do see something along that line in Teen Titans Go. In one of the episodes, Beast Boy accidentally destroys the tower, which understandably hurts his friends. To save their lives, he gave them a blood transfusion, which ended up sharing his power with them. Based on this, we can conclude that his power runs in his bloodstream. Thus, in a way, he can share his ability with others. Can he talk with the animals? Because of his ability that affects his genes and not his neurons, Beast Boy is able to maintain his intellectual abilities even in an animal form, which we will discuss in a bit. But here's the more interesting side of his intellect in the animal form. When he is an animal, he develops the communication pattern of the said animal, allowing him to communicate with animals of the same species. The inherent nature of his ability allows Beast Boy to communicate with the animals that are around him. Obviously, this communication will not be as detailed and as specific as human communication is, but it is usually enough to convey a broader idea or aspect of what he wants to communicate to the animal. For example, if he were to transform into a cat, he would be able to interpret and communicate with your pet cat in the subvocal way two cats usually communicate with one another. Does he have his human intellect in his animal form? If Beast Boy's abilities were limited to just transforming into an animal and going into beast mode on his enemies, it would have been impressive, but challenging for him to return to his original form. However, as we mentioned previously, his power primarily affects his genes, not his intellect. This unique aspect enables him to maintain his human-level intellect even when in the form of an animal, making him exceptionally skilled at his superhero duties. Even when he assumes the shape of animals that lack vocal capabilities like a parrot, he can still convey his thoughts and ideas effectively to his teammates because he retains his human intellect. This ability to seamlessly communicate and strategize in various animal forms sets Beast Boy apart and makes him an exceptional superhero. In essence, Beast Boy's powers allow him to take on the attributes of any animal without compromising his intellect, which is a key factor in what makes him such an extraordinary superhero. Is the Beast Boy vegetarian? Because of his ability to transform into any animal he has seen or can think of, it is not unlikely that Gar has changed himself into a cow or chicken and has seen the world through their eyes. After seeing the world through the eyes of a prey and living as an animal like that, Gar has developed a sense of solidarity with the animals that others cannot fathom. This empathy and solidarity has led to Beast Boy choosing to be vegetarian. While there are continuity errors in the comics and cartoons, which depict Gar occasionally enjoying a burger or a hot dog, most of the time we see him going for the vegan option because he has been those animals. While this may lead to him being teased by the other Teen Titans, he stays strong in his resolve until the writers forget about this and make an error. Coincidentally, as life would have it, the voice actor of Beast Boy, Greg Cipes, is a vegan. Does he have healing ability? Thanks to the Sokotia virus and the serum his parents gave him, Beast Boy can alter his genetic components and control the way his cells divide. This is important because this is how he changes his mass, size, and cellular structure when he transforms from one animal to another. Because of this reason, it is not surprising at all that he has a significantly higher and accelerated healing ability, even as a human. If we look at his animal forms, if he were to take damage in the form of a tiger, he could simply transform himself into an animal that has accelerated healing to combat the damage he has taken. While there is no canonical answer to this ability, as the writers have not explored this per se, based on how Beast Boy's powers work, we can conclude that this is probably the reason why he is able to heal as fast as he can. This also allows him to regrow limbs if necessary, which is pretty nifty if you ask me. Can Beast Boy reproduce? Could he have children with animals? This is a topic that fans have pondered over for quite some time. Can Beast Boy mate with animals? Will he mate with animals, and could he have offspring with them? If we delve into the genetics of it, Beast Boy's genetic makeup changes to match the species of any earthbound or any intergalactic creature he can see. From a purely genetic standpoint, it's conceivable that he could produce viable offspring with animals of the species transforms into. However, given that he retains his human intellect, it seems highly unlikely that he would want to mate with an animal. Another crucial aspect to consider is the scent. While his genetic components change, there is no canonical mention of whether he would emit the scent of the animal he transforms into. This is significant because pheromones and the vomeronasal organ play a pivotal role in the mating habits of nearly all animals. The vomeronasal organ is a component of the accessory olfactory system, capable of detecting non-volatile chemical cues and pheromones. While humans possess this organ, it is not as developed as it is in, say, a dog. Even if Beast Boy were in the form of a dog, other dogs might detect that he smells somewhat different, which could potentially affect the mating process. In the absence of any canonical evidence or evidence depicting Beast Boy having offspring with an animal, we can reasonably conclude that while he technically could, it's highly unlikely that he would engage in such behavior. Is he immortal? The DC Universe has seen its share of cathartic story arcs, with one of the most notable being the Infinite Crisis arc. In this storyline, Superboy made the shocking decision to murder heroes in cold blood due to his belief that their society was darker than his idealized version of a utopian society. However, after that, fans weren't necessarily expecting another story as emotionally intense. Enter the Dark Crisis arc, which shattered those expectations. In the very first issue of the Dark Crisis arc, within the initial 8 pages, we are immediately confronted with the profound consequences and harrowing disaster that the storyline will explore, involving our beloved heroes. Shockingly, we witness Deathstroke dropping the lifeless body of Beast Boy, who has a bullet wound in his face. Beast Boy has been a cherished member of the Teen Titans since the Bronze Age, known for his cheerful and carefree personality that helped him bind the team together. His character also provided a realistic portrayal of how being a hero can impact the mental state of teenagers. Because of his humane portrayal, fans have held a deep affection for him over the years. Consequently, seeing him meet his demise within the first 8 pages of a new issue left all the fans in a state of shock. While we are aware that Beast Boy possesses the ability to transform, shapeshift, and has accelerated healing powers, which could potentially lead to his resurrection, we are left with curiosity about how this traumatic experience, particularly the bullet wound to the head, will alter him. Marvelous verdict. Garfield Mark Logan has left a significant impact not only on fans, but also on his team. He has been the adhesive that held his team together, and his humor consistently lifted their spirits. With a vast array of powers, Beast Boy undeniably ranks among the strongest superheroes in the DC Universe. His unexpected demise, especially at the hands of Deathstroke, is a development that caught us all off guard. Nevertheless, as fans, we are eagerly anticipating how things will evolve in the future issues of the Dark Crisis storyline. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks, everyone.